When it comes to the Detroit Lions, it's hard to believe that just a mere 4 years ago, this team was the laughingstock of the NFL. But if there's one thing we just learned from our top free agent signing, things have definitely changed. We're going to talk about it, so stay tuned.
What are we? What makes us what we are and what we're going to be? It's grit. It's what we started with last year, guys. Doesn't matter if you have one ass cheek and 3 toes. I will beat your ass.
Can definitely compete with the big dogs.
10-5 end zone touchdown Detroit Lions.
You guys are unbelievable, man. I'm telling you.
We are driven by Detroit.
Hello, Detroit Lions friends, fans, and family members. Welcome on back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike. And as always, we're diving on in. So, folks, as we all know, the Lions 4 years ago were one of the worst teams in the NFL. Had been for a long time. It was very common to hear the same old Lions rhetoric. It was very common to hear how the Lions were always going to be losers, laughable losers, whatever you want to call it. The Lions 4 years ago were just not a good team. But, as we know, fast forward a couple of years, now the Lions are considered one of the best teams in the NFL, if not arguably the best team in the NFL. And a lot of us Lions fans have known this. We're proud of it. We're happy about it. But it wasn't until today that I was able to really understand and fully comprehend just how much things have changed and how much the process that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell talk about has really paid dividends in making this team, making this culture, this organization now the way it is. As we saw yesterday, the Lions held their introductory signing conference for cornerback DJ Reed. I watched that conference, and let me tell you something. Coming away from that conference, I was extremely enamored with how Reed composed himself in front of the camera, answered the questions, and was very much, in my opinion, a true professional. But other than his demeanor and other than his professionalism, the answers that he gave were very telling and they were very pointed towards this conversation we're about to have. Because, as my title suggests, the secret has been revealed in full broad display about how the Lions were able to attract one of the top free agents in the NFL this year. Let's go back to that conference really quickly, and let's go back to what DJ Reed said. First and foremost, one of the first things that Reed said as soon as he got in front of the camera was that he wanted to play for a defense that had dogs on it. Pretty much guys that are rough, tough, they get after the football, they are freaking gritty as hell. That's what he wanted. And he said he has now come to a defense that is full of dogs, which let's call for what it is. Our defense is loaded with them. Kirby, Brian Branch, Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, Hutchinson, McNeil, Reeder. I mean, you go on and on. We got guys that are freaking tough as nails and they have no problem laying the proverbial and literal boom on people. Then, Reed also said that he was drawn to the Lions' physical style of play that Campbell endorses and teaches, and said that one of the things that was really impressive for him when he was studying tape, because other teams study the Lions' tape, and he said it as much, he said that one of the things that was particularly impressive to him was that regardless of the injuries that we had last year, the defense still played at a high level because, as he stated, and as we've heard other players on the Lions state and the coaches have stated, the standard is the standard. We do not waver, we do not deviate, we do not lessen our expectations or standard just because our starting level players are out. The standard is the standard. Reed then further stated that he was extremely, highly, impressed, very much attracted to the grit culture that Campbell and Holmes have, put in place here, saying that it lines up very well with his own high standards and expectations of how to play football. That right there is a huge component about why I think Reed came here, because it's like, listen, the grit culture, evidenced by this hat, is very much a Detroit thing. It's very much based in the culture of Detroit, not only in terms of the players and the team, but also the city. And then, finally, Reed also was very, very much complimentary. He was very high on the actual talent that our defense has, especially talking about how he was extremely looking forward to playing with our two all-pro safeties, Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, and that he is expecting to win a Super Bowl. He came to Detroit with the expectation to win a Super Bowl. Okay, that's a summed up, paraphrased, kind of version of the press conference. But what did I observe? There were two things that I observed from his press conference that were self-evident. Number one, Reed is a lion through and through. I mean, you take a look at how he talked, how he handled himself, his mindset, his attitude, his work ethic, his desire to win. It is exactly why the Lions were attracted to him. He is literally, just by his freaking persona, it is permeated with the grit culture. It is freaking saturated with how this Lions team holds and runs itself. So that was self-evident number one. Self-evident number two was that it is evident how the Lions were able to bag DJ Reed for less money than Carlton Davis. And understand something. The reason that the Lions were able to do this is because they are committed to something bigger than themselves. They are committed to, in essence, the Lions have committed themselves to build themselves in a way of, hey, we're not just going to talk the talk. We're going to walk the walk. Because think about it, the Lions have built themselves into an ideal, into a culture, into a persona where it literally permeates the building, the team, and the organization. You cannot go to Allen Park, you cannot talk about the Lions without talking about Dan Campbell's grit culture. You just can't. And there's a reason why. The reason why is because the grit culture is based upon the ideal that we're going to play football the right way at the highest level. The grit culture did this. It brought the right mindset first and foremost, which inspired the right players being brought in, whether it was through the free agency, whether it was through draft, whether it was through trade, whatever the case might be. It all was the same when it comes to the players. We brought in winners. And I'm not just talking about winners and people like wanting to win. I'm talking about people that don't make excuses, they do their job, and they do it to the best of their ability, which in many cases for us is at the highest level. We have a lot of top tier players, and they do their jobs exceedingly well. That in turn results in the players, not only one, playing hard and doing things the right way, but that ensures high quality football. And what that does is it attracts other players. Because think about it. Other players are going to notice what the Lions are doing. They're going to see us winning. They're going to see highlights. They're going to watch film like I was saying earlier. That is going to spread around the message, the culture, the idealism that the grit mindset is. And what it does is it attracts those players because the grit culture, it breeds success on both an individual level, but also a team level. And that is what players want. They want brotherhood in terms of, okay, We as individuals, we are a family. We are a brotherhood. We are close-knit. We are together. But as a team, it breeds winning success. And when you have those two things together, you are in a very good spot to do just about damn near anything. And that is what I believe Reed was expressing attracted him to the Lions more so than anyone else, because he stated there were two teams he was primarily looking at, the Lions and the Commanders. And don't get me wrong, the Commanders had themselves an excellent season last year, but they don't have a cultural mindset, a cultural identity impact like what the Lions have. He literally said from the moment he walked in the building, he could feel it, he could sense it. He was like, yes, I get exactly what the Lions are all about. And that commitment to team, to hard work and success, never to make excuses, to leave it all out on the field and doing the right thing at all times, whether it's, hey, well, when we're going to prehabilitation, when we're going to practice, when we're going to film study, when it's working out, when it's post-habilitation. That is what attracted DJ Reed. It's like, listen, I'm here to do a job. I'm here to do it well. I'm here to win. That's what Dan Campbell is about. Do your job, do it well, don't make excuses, find a way to win. It's that damn simple. But because it's that damn simple, it's also that damn hard. Because to try and get an identity, a culture, a mindset like that instilled is not something that, one, happens overnight, and two, it's not something that everybody's going to buy into. You have to find the right players, and that is exactly what the Lions have done, and it has allowed them to take all of the stuff that I've talked about and, doing everything the right way and translating it from the practice field to on game day, putting it out on the gridiron, on the game field. That, I believe, is the secret that the Lions revealed and how they were able to get DJ Reed. Because again, DJ Reed said he didn't take less money. But let's call it for what it is. He could have gotten more money than what he was given. Carlton Davis got $12 million more than him. He could have asked for more money. He took what he felt was appropriate, and he took what he felt was fair. He could have asked for more. It's not that he took less, he took what he felt he had earned, and he took what he felt was appropriate. That's not saying that, he couldn't have asked for more, because he most certainly could have. But my whole point is this. Because of how the Lions have done things, that has allowed them to do things like this that they have never been able to do before. But anyway, folks, I just wanted to talk about this because as I was sitting there and I was watching that interview, I was like, man, things have definitely changed, and for the better. Way better. But having said that, I'm going to end this episode, so I just want to say thank you all for watching in another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage y'all please to do one of these three things. Like, comment, and subscribe. If by chance you subscribed in the past and you forgot to do so at the time, I want to highly encourage y'all please make sure you hit that bell notification icon so that way you guys never miss any more content that I push out. Also want to highly encourage y'all please to share this content. Share it here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you possibly can, because the more we can do that, the greater the channel can grow and spread. And with that being said, I truly hope you guys all got something out of this. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all, got you all thinking. Whether this is the first time you're watching me or you guys have been watching me forever and a day, I really hope that that is exactly what I was able to bring to you. Also hope everyone has something in their life that makes them happy, makes them smile. God bless, my friends. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.